welcome to 2025
Woo!
Behind the Filter podcast After Dark edition. And you notice we have a little bit of a different setup here.
I'm sorry, are we like super official right now?
We're so official. So official.
We're so cool.
I know. We have new equipment and
Yes.
it's a new year. So, we're stepping our podcast game up a little bit because we have lots of things that we're going to want to do for 2025 when it comes to this podcast and ideas, events, all the good stuff. And, we're women and we're kicking ass.
That's right. We're ready. We got
No men.
2025 going. Yep. Girls only.
Girls only.
Girls only.
Yes, it is just Ashley and I, and that's how we're going to roll this thing,
That's right.
So it's going to be good. We are going to do everything. We're going to shoot. We're going to produce. We're going to edit. We are going to post. We're going to do it all. Because we're badasses. Okay.
That'd be a good time to hit one of those buttons.
Oh, which one? Yes, we're badasses.
Thank you. Thank you.
So appreciate that. Thank you so much. I like to thank me for me.
Live from the live studio audience. It's condensed into this pad.
All right. So it is the new year. Welcome to 2025. Did you have a good New Year's Eve?
I did have a good New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I had all my family over. We had some family in town. Not all of them, but a bunch of them.
Yes.
And we just hung out at the house, played games, and I ate 12 grapes under the table.
Okay, so this is what I was going to mention because we do the 12 grapes too because it's also part of a Latino tradition, but it's a different take on it versus why you were doing the 12 grapes. Why were you doing 12 grapes?
So I think it starts with the Latino tradition of like good luck, right?
Yes, yeah.
But a lot of women started doing it in hopes that you'll get good luck with love and find love. So normally my family's Greek and we break plates as a symbol of good luck for the year.
And I know Italian families do that too because my boyfriend mentioned that.
But we forgot the plates. This year,
Go
and it
figure.
was like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, Mom, do you have any old plates we can break? So I'm gonna have to do a plate breaking this week. But yeah, I did it to
we need to record that.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. We absolutely need to do that.
Next podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
When we're outside in the
Breaking
live
plates.
studio audience.
There we go. Bam.
Yeah. But what we do is we write on the plates our goals for the year, our hopes for the year, and then we break them as a form of good luck.
Oh, that's
Greeks
awesome.
break plates in other moments, but we kind of brought it into New Year's as our own little take on it. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
So for us, it was the 12 grapes. We made a wish for each month.
Oh, I love that.
And so that was the reason behind it. We also do, I don't know, a lot of you guys probably see some of the videos on TikTok where we run around with luggage outside and it signifies like traveling. Yes.
I've never seen that.
I wanted to do that, but it was raining and I was like,
no.
I'm good. I'm good. And then the other thing was one of the other traditions for Latinos is to like open all the windows and doors and burn sage, like to get all the negative energy out, cleanse it out, bring in new energy in. But I do that all the time, so it wasn't really like a New Year's thing. So yeah,
I need to do that. I need to get some energy out of our house.
Yeah, there you go.
There's been a lot of people in and out of it this last month.
Man, your family. This girl has the biggest family ever. It is absolutely insane. Every week, she's like, oh, I can't do this because this person's going to be here. Oh, I can't do that because this person's flying in. I'm like, girl,
that's
honestly.
Because we're Greek and we breed, and then we married into my uncle's Colombian, and so we just got a lot of breeding in my family. I think
Greeks
my
and
mom's
Latinos
side,
have big families.
Huge. I think my mom's side, we counted, we're going to be up to like 42 this year.
Oh
just my mom's
my
side.
gosh, that's insane.
And we still have a handful of us that need to get married, and there will be more kids.
So it could easily triple in number. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, double.
It will definitely at least get a 50% bigger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, wow. Okay. Me with my little... normally Latinos have big families, but, like, my family was big, but then they kind of spread out everywhere. So now I have a family of 2 at the moment.
That's perfect.
But it's okay.
That's
why I have 5 cats.
That's right. We have a family of 7. How dare you do that to your
Correct.
cats?
It's a family of 7, but if we include the boyfriend and the 2 dogs, then that's a family of 10.
There you go. See,
so,
that's perfect.
So there we go. It's just a family of animals. It's okay.
You know what? Some of my family could be considered animals too. So love you guys.
All right, we're gonna bust out some Pinot Noir that Ashley brought in for us that we're gonna have, and we're super excited because I know we're gonna be sampling and trying some other brands, but we figured, you know what, for this one we're just gonna bust this one out because it was already open, and we're not gonna waste alcohol.
No, that would be disrespectful. So this is by, I think it's Murphy Good. There's an E at the end, so good day, goat. No, there's not. Okay, we're going to just go with Murphy Good. And it's a Pinot Noir. If you're not familiar with wines, this is going to be more of the softest red, more of the little bit sweeter red, but I would never classify any red as sweet.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Oh, that echoes really.
That echoes like it's nobody's business.
I think we're going to have to make sure we have coasters for every cup on the table.
Literally. I will take it. I'll put it on my top. This is my notes because the phone's recording all the things. So.
Murphy Good. Let's give her a try.
Good. We'll see how it goes. Cheers to 2025.
Cheers.
Here we go. Dry.
This is actually good for a Pinot. I don't normally go for Pinots.
I don't normally go for Pinots either.
But this is more on the drier side for a Pinot even.
It is dry, but it's not like horribly dry.
It's not like Malbec or like
So you know what's so funny? I'm loving Malbecs now, but I don't feel like Malbecs are dry.
You're ready to move on again.
Really?
You're ready to move to a deeper one.
Stop. Yeah. I even had a Malbec, I think when I did a wine tasting last week, and to me, I was like, this is kind of sweet.
Yeah. Sometimes they're all kind of, depending on what flavors or like stuff is in it, but could be you're ready to move on.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
maybe.
All right.
Let's
go ahead and
get into our content for this week's episode. So do we want to talk about...
I'm so stressed putting this bottle down right now. Sorry.
Why?
Because I didn't want to. Okay.
We have, you know what? We probably need to talk about the audacity first.
Yes, the audacity.
Because this is a joint, the audacity story between Ashley and I with this person. So,
yeah. So we had started to get some comments on some of our posts by this guy. And he commented on one of mine where I had talked about guys I had dated and said, stop dating clowns. And it rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. Because I'm like, first of all, why assume that, like, I'm intentionally dating clowns?
Yeah.
Why is it my fault when a man hides things and then brings up all of his internal issues? I mean, and I say on every podcast, I have issues too. So I just responded, like, LOL. And I screenshot that and I sent it to Jeanette. And I was like, this annoys me. This comment is annoying me. And I was like, and he's in my DMs all the time. And then she says...
He's been in my DMs too.
And I was like, oh, really? And the funny part is, he told you, like, to add him on Facebook or something? He told me the same thing.
Are you serious?
He's like, go find me on Facebook. That's where my photos are. And you know what? Reach out to as many girls as you want, but don't go after two besties at the same time.
Exactly, because he was
time.
DMing me, and then, like, he would always respond to my stories, and then he asked me, if I was single, and I said no. Mm-hmm. But then he kept responding and kept DMing and, like, doing that, and then sent me a Facebook request, and so I never responded back, and then he sends that, and then after that, I respond, because her and we obviously start talking and we figure out he's in both of our DMs right now. That is absolutely hilarious. And then I responded something to the effect of, I think this is absolutely hilarious considering, like, you're trying to date the both of us or you're both in our DMs or something like that. And then immediately unfollows us, blocks the podcast.
And I have not heard from him since.
He was totally doing damage control after that. I think he realized, like, oh shit, they're probably going to talk about me on this podcast.
Like, I don't even want to see. Listen, we never name drop, but if you're going to give us good content, then
we're going to use it. Sorry.
Yeah. So
let it be known. Yeah. Let it be known, men. If you come into our DMs, know that it might be shared with the world.
Yep.
It's just what happens.
The funniest thing is the audacity of him to do it on our podcast, our joint account in a way.
Correct.
Our joint business in a way. And it's like, what? Did you expect us not to see it?
I'm sorry. Men are just so dumb sometimes. I don't understand that. How do you think you can get at two best friends at the same time who have a business together and not think that we're not going to know?
And then he could have done damage control. He could have said, like, oh, I followed you first, Jeanette. I saw you first. You explained you're in a relationship.
Right.
I was also, because you guys are so similar in areas, interested in Ashley now. Okay, then fine. Say that. But no, we just give the straight unfollow block. Bye. No, we're not adding you on Facebook.
Okay? Yeah, no. No, that's a negative. So, yeah, that was funny.
I love
funny
it.
audacity story
so
there.
Great. That was perfect.
I know.
That was perfect.
Wait, so was that going to be also your DM of the week too? I can't remember.
It was, but then I remembered I'm gonna do comments of the week.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay.
Yes.
So our next thing, because obviously both of us share the same audacity story. My DM of the week, I remembered this, and I remember sharing it with you. It was this guy, and it was a long time ago where we started talking on DMs, like on Instagram, and he asked me out on a date, and I did say yes, and then I backtracked after this because it hadn't. I don't think we like set a date. Like we said, we were gonna go and do dinner at some point or something like that. And so he obviously knows or starts to see I work for a very big Latin nightclub here in Indianapolis. And so he sees all the posts and stuff that I do. So then he randomly started asking questions because I think like him and his friends never been there before, wanted to try it out, and so he's asking me questions about it. So I was like giving him the lowdown on the cover and like the type of music because he's a white boy, so he's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it here. And I was like, oh, it's so much fun, it's not just Latinos there. There's lots of people and different cultures, blah blah blah. This is when I was like, oh hell no, because then after that we're going back and forth. I'm giving him information about the club, and then he says, it's safe to go there, right? And I got that, and I was like, oh, I wanted to go off so bad because I'm like, okay, first of all, why would I put myself in a place where it would be unsafe to be at? And secondly, you're basing this off the fact that because this is a Latino club and mainly Latinos in there, that it is an unsafe space to be at.
No.
And then you tell the Latina who works there,
no.
Is it safe? I'm like, are you a fucking idiot? I'm sorry. Like, no.
Yeah.
No,
As
no.
a female, why would you ever put yourself in an unsafe position? Number one.
Exactly.
Number two, the words I want to say, I'm not going to say. But, like, that's so disrespectful.
Yes.
It's rude. It's judgmental. It's, ew, you're gross, bye.
Yeah.
It's just, ew, you're gross,
literally.
bye.
After that, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I cannot with you. And you know what's so funny? A couple months later, he's in the famous Facebook page that shall be named nameless right now. Somebody was posting about him, and there was all these comments about him, and I was like, damn, I dodged a bullet there. So
and then he tried to follow me for a minute.
Oh, that's right. He tried to follow her too. See, we know all of this stuff because that's what happens a lot of times, because obviously Ashley and I were together a lot. Like, now we have a business together. We go out all the time. And so it's always like, oh, you two, right?
Yeah.
So the guys are always following the both of us. And then he followed her. And then she was like, oh, gosh. That's negative.
And then I think as soon as I posted, maybe I'm making this timeline up in my head, but when I posted a story of us, he then unfollowed me. Or almost immediately he unfollowed me.
I think so. I think
because I didn't follow him back, and that could have been it, too. And that was fun.
Mouse.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, mine's probably not that entertaining, but it also goes with stupid things people say. Every time I say anything, I gotta take my watch off. It is echoing on this.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. Anytime I say anything on this podcast about what I'm looking for in a relationship, I tend to get some type of hate comment. And it's always on YouTube. And here's my thing. I don't battle with the internet trolls. Say what you want to say. But I'm going to share you on the podcast. And I'm going to say this. Like, again, my disclaimer is I talk a lot about my issues, my struggles, things that I have done wrong. I've done things. I've ghosted men. I've been toxic. Like, I'm not perfect, but I'm still allowed to have wants and desires in a relationship.
Absolutely.
So anyways, the episode we talked about our dating goals, which I thought in terms of all of our episodes, I don't even think I was that strict on that one, but I said something and someone said she's not looking for a relationship. She's looking for a retirement plan. First of all, homeboy, I have my own 401k. Thank you. And you know what? I am assuming it came off me saying I like when a man pays for dinner. I like when a man takes me out. But if you would have listened to the episode, you would have heard me say on the third or fourth date, I then turn around and I take the man out.
Yeah.
Like, anyways, that was one of them. I think this one's probably my favorite one. Because at first I'm like, I didn't understand what you meant. So I also talked about my age. I'm 38. And he said, to all the ladies, to late ladies, all your 20s been what I put together.
Yeah, that this we man we had to decipher that one.
Yeah, I was like, what? I'm not sure. Is saying that because of my age, I've been ran through by hundreds of men.
Yeah.
So automatically, because I am 38 and single, I'm a slut. Am I allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say that on social media? You might have to bleep that word out.
I mean, I just drop the F-bomb all the time, so it's fine.
But it seems to be those words that they like to catch us for. So I think those comments are entertaining because anytime I talk about what I want in a relationship, what I want in a man, men have something to say about me and why I'm a bad person or I'm not good. I'm like, okay, thank you. Listen,
it's fine. You know what's gonna happen. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm in my own head enough. I don't need you
tired internet telling you.
So those were my DMs or comments.
I know. They're hilarious to me. They're just absolutely ridiculous. Because again, like people, and I mean, obviously that's what we want. We do want to have like open conversations with people about the topics that we talk about, and but also like, have some context about it. Like you're getting again a snippet of a longer conversation that, for lack of better words, we're not going to go and throw out a 5-minute clip about a subject we just talked about because that's not how the algorithm works.
Right.
So they're literally just judging us based off of this like 30-45-second clip and then like not putting any common sense whatsoever into it at all.
And joke's on them because I still want a man to pay for the first date.
That's right.
And I have not been run through. That's a conversation for another story.
Ashley has not been ran through.
I've not been ran through.
No.
So.
Oh, yes.
It's getting hotter in here.
No. Let's just skip that topic, okay?
Let's get these stories going.
All right, we got some viral stories for you. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So this one I actually saw. Actually, I saw it on Instagram and I saw it on TikTok as well. It's this couple that they are married. They're from Australia. One got famous from some reality TV show in Australia, and then the other is I think some sort of artist, like a singer or something like that. Anywho, long story short, they're married and they're stepbrother and sister.
No.
And she's pregnant now. So the title of it was, I'm pregnant with my stepbrother's child. So obviously clickbait, right? I was like, what the heck is this? So I read the article. Basically, they've known each other since they were little. Parents got together. They will not say like who's what of the parents, but they're obviously related by marriage, but then ended up falling in love. They got married. They relocated to the States for a few years. Ended up becoming content creators. So then they started to share their lives as them being stepbrother and sister and being married and now engaged. And so obviously it's gone viral because of the situation. And I think now either they're making their way back to Australia like for family and not to be here by the States. But I was like, damn.
Are the parents still married?
Yeah. Yeah. Parents are still together.
Do we know if their family's supportive?
I think the article said that it was a mixed bag with the family but they're like, we don't care. We've known each other longer than like, because they were friends first and then the parents got together and then, yeah. But I mean, okay, so there was a moment for me when I was in high school. I had a good friend. He was a year older than me. His dad was single. My mom was single. His dad thought my mom was cute. And we joked about it because we're like, oh, haha, what if they get married and then you become my stepbrother? But, But I always looked at him as a friend. Like, I would have never. I would have been like, ew, no, you're like my brother now. Yeah. Gross.
And, coming from my family, your family. Once your family, it doesn't matter how you came into the family. We have plenty of adoptions, plenty of second marriage. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
And my cousin's fiance, soon to be wife, she's my cousin now. Their kid, he calls me Aunt Sha. The same thing my niece and nephew do. Once you're in our family, and I think that's why this is so extra hard for me to understand. Your family,
right?
So if you're my stepbrother, you're my brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
I know. I don't think I could ever. That's just so weird. Like, I get it. You're not blood related, but still. That is a little too close for me. I don't know. I don't think I could ever.
And, like, your parents are your in-laws. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It is super weird. I mean, even when my mom was married, they had people on their side of the family, and we were all the same age. Mm-hmm. And I would have, and so they were my cousins, you know, by marriage.
Yeah.
But I would have never looked at them in that way because, again, I looked at them as family. So why? Yeah. It's just.
I even had a situation, and this isn't even like closely related. It was my uncle's nephew on his other side. So like my aunt is he married into our family. So this would be his nephew on that side. He made a joke one time about like, oh, you guys should date. And I was like, still, no, I have an uncle in common. I don't care that it was by marriage. It's still too close for me.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird.
I could never.
Yeah.
Good for them for finding love.
I mean, yeah, to each to its own, right? Yeah. But obviously, it is a little bit of a taboo subject. So if you're going to share your life on the internet, be prepared for the trolls coming in the comments and all of that stuff because what you're doing is not normal.
No, yeah. If we get hate for what we say,
right? Exactly.
I know they're getting.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the virus story I found. It was great.
Interesting. Similarly, mine is more like a landscape of a situation that's open for conversation. And I think it's interesting because I was just talking to one of my cousins about this.
You got me the sparkling water.
Of course I did, sweetie.
Thank you.
I know you.
I love the sparkling water.
And I was like the whole way walking out, sparkling in the right, sparkling in the right. I filled it slightly less because I'm like, I drink more so that I knew it was okay, so this is, you guys know I love my Reddit threads.
Oh, yes.
This is one slowly picking up on Reddit. And the title is, Why Am I So Much More Attracted to Women That Are Crazy / Have Mental Health Problems Than Good Life Choice Making Ones? 31-year-old male here. I'm genuinely curious behind the psychology of why I subconsciously choose women who are narcissistic, mean as hell, and generally crazy over a woman who makes good choices and has her head on her shoulders. It can't be simply because they're boring, right? And then, you know, the comments, it's always going to break it down. And I thought that was an interesting perspective because I think that's a conversation I've had before. Like, same. You know, you look at it and you're like, in terms of a lot of women, like, I'm relatively calm. If you break up with me, I'm not going to slash your tires. I'm just never going to speak to you again.
Right.
And, like, if we, you know, we all have issues. But, like, and one of the comments, I think, is what hit for me. And someone said, it's because you feel like they need you. And I think we've talked about being independent financially and with our businesses and entrepreneurs, that it comes across to men as masculine, yes, and that we don't need them.
Right.
Which on the flip side, it's like that he needs to realize is that a woman still can need you. She can be, you know, mentally in a good place and emotionally a good place and physically and spiritually and financially and still need you.
Absolutely.
In many different ways. And maybe she doesn't need you one day, but she's going to need you the next.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I definitely thought that was interesting because I've made the joke of, do I need to act crazier? But, I mean, trust me, get a couple glasses of wine to me and I am probably crazier than most people.
But it's true, though. Some guys love the crazy. They love, I feel like, not necessarily the drama, but like the chase and the, you know, and with all that it comes with. What's funny to me also is that I think, like, just with Latinas are known for being crazy and, you know, especially with Puerto Ricans, for Boricuas, like, you know, we're known apparently for, you know, wanting to stab people as soon as something goes wrong. And so that's kind of like a running joke. Yeah. And so for me, it's like, you know what? I'm not crazy. I know what I want and I'm not going to take shit from people. Yeah. So it's not the fact that I'm crazy or not crazy. I mean, I can act that way because believe me, there was a point in my life where I was super crazy and I was insane and I will punch a bitch. That slightly came out a couple months ago on accident. That I don't know where that came from. That was like from high school. Yeah. It's still in me apparently. But I think people sometimes misconstrued what crazy is. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not we're crazy.
Yeah.
We have respect for ourselves, and we're not gonna let things slide.
Right.
And we're not gonna let us be, I guess, treated in a certain manner, a certain way, you know. And so to point. Men, that may act as like being crazy or whatever, but you know, sometimes we do go to great lengths for things. But sometimes we also have to put people in our place and be like, you know what? Don't fuck with me. Yeah. That's pretty simple, you know? So that's what happens. But yeah, and I also agree with the whole thing on the whole like needing. Because right now, same thing, like we're business owners, we're very, very set in our ways. We don't need men in our lives. We want them in our lives. And I think that's a difference. And so it's like the person I'm with now, you know, do I ultimately need a man to be completely 100% fulfilled in my life? Absolutely not. But I found a person that I want to share my life with because of what he brings to my life. Yeah. It's not necessarily like I need to have you. Yeah. And so I think that's also a difference too. Yeah. And I would also have to say for the men's side, like how did you grow up? Did you grow up in a crazy household? Yeah. Like how was that dynamic for you? Because sometimes that's very closely related into like the partners that that was me growing up. It was, you know, I saw one thing, and so it made me go the opposite way of what I wanted in life. But then in actuality, I was even closer to that. Yeah, and I didn't realize it until I was like full on adult. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing X, Y, and Z now. Yeah.
I think you also made a good point up too, is like the term crazy is thrown around so much. I don't like it. I feel like women are always labeled crazy. We're not crazy. No. We might be passionate. We might be, you know, typically more emotional or this and that. Yeah. But it's like, I always said, if a woman's crazy, what man made her that way? Like, ooh, if she's crazy.
That's so good because we get
vice versa.
We get pushed. We do. We get pushed, I think. And I think that some men are out there know how to push a woman's buttons to get or to garner that kind of reaction. Yeah. So then they can pinpoint us as crazy. Well, I'm like, well, you pushed me to be crazy. I'm normally not like that, you know?
You flirted with another girl and had an inappropriate situation, or maybe I had one in my last relationship. Yeah. So now am I the crazy one if I have to check your phone? Right. I mean, I never check someone's phone, but like I think that's like something typically people would say is crazy. Right. But it's like, and same for men when we say like they're, you know, emotionally unable to have a relationship or connection, it usually comes into like what happened in their past relationships. And I've noticed a lot of men who had a big broken heart have a really hard time moving forward again. Yeah. And it's like we're all shuffling through our past trying to date again. And it's like, let's just throw emotionally unavailable on men and let's just throw crazy on women. And it's like, no. Yeah. But yeah, we can be crazy for sure. Yeah. Come out with us on Friday night and you'll see a good kind of crazy.
Yeah. We always start out very calm and collected, and then I don't know what happens.
And then I'm eating tacos on a pavement in
front of a nightclub.
It'll always end with tacos.
Or she's falling asleep right by the stage where the speaker is.
Look, it's tired.
We're like, how can you sleep with that speaker right by your ear?
The thing like, out. I can sleep anywhere. I can sleep right here in this podcast show.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I did fall asleep in the VIP section that one my birthday weekend, so I get it. It happens. Okay, before we get on to our topic, I'm gonna check this. You know, because it's our first episode. Like, you know,
maybe see how long we've been recording too.
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
Man, here.
I did look at the phone or my clock. Oh, the boyfriend texted. Okay, we're at 34 minutes.
Let's go.
But that was a lot of us, you know, kind of messing around at the beginning.
Oh, okay. So we still got some time.
Yeah, I think we're doing good so far. What's not good is how hot it is in this studio.
This studio has obviously no ventilation because you can also like record music in here, and then there's a heat. And then we're in Indiana, so it's pumping the heat in, and we wore sweaters and we're like
we're done. We need to, the next time, we should just, like, come like it's summer in here. And it'll look crazy, but, like, then we won't be sweaty.
No. It's like my hair is sticking to my neck.
I know. Same. I feel that. I feel that in my soul right now. Here we go. Okay. All right. So, what we were going to talk about today, moving forward, is obviously it's a new year. So, we're still talking about, like, New Year's goals, resolutions, that kind of stuff, and kind of what we typically do for the new year. Like, you know, a lot of us do, you know, what's your word, or, you know, if you do resolutions, what do you like them, or do you have goals or anything like that? So we're just going to kind of talk about that and see like what we're doing this year, what we've done in the past, and then, how we're going to move forward with that. So what do you like to do? I know I don't like to do resolutions because I just think they're dumb.
I agree. I've set some goals for the year, and I still everyone's like, some people are like, January 1, January 1. No, I'm like the first Monday in January. That's when the year really starts, okay?
Yes.
This black hole the last couple days, they don't count.
My gosh.
They don't count.
Let me tell you, I cannot do anything right now.
No.
Nothing makes sense. I tried to put my brain on yesterday to work, and I was literally like, it's not firing. It is just not firing. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what I need to do. Can we just get past like the post-holiday stuff so I can get back to normal life?
That's how I feel. So like I started to get my life a little bit organized, and then Monday it's gonna be my goal setting. I will set goals, but they're mostly like business related.
Yeah.
A couple personal ones I'm trying to set and these are things I've been slowly easing into, are like scrolling on the internet less, reading more, and girl, I've got to get a better sleeping habits this year.
Girl, yeah.
I mean, my sleeping habits are I am by nature a night owl. Mm-hmm. In a perfect world, I would stay up till 3, but I would sleep until like 11 or 12 the next day. But that's not good with society. And by that time, my clients are texting me. I'm behind. I can't do that. So I got to establish a healthy bedtime.
Yeah.
Okay. I need my mom to come upstairs in my room and be like, it's time for bed. I'm turning your lights off. Give me your phone. You can have it back in the morning. But outside of that, I also do a word. And I'm still like kind of finessing mine, but I think something to do with like wholeheartedly, or like something to that nature, because I want to wholeheartedly, or like more, that's not quite the word, but like jump more into my business, like fight for my business like I've never fought before, and work harder, and because I think I'm over my corporate America burnout, so now I can kind of jump in even deeper. I want to pursue a love wholeheartedly. I want to open up my heart a little bit better. I want to find love this year. I've said it, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I'm getting married in 2025. I don't care how crazy it sounds, but that's my goal. That's my goal.
That's not crazy. I mean, once you find them, you find them, and you're done. It's a wrap.
Exactly. When you know, let's not waste all the time, with going.
What's the point? Yeah, exactly. There's no point in that.
And then I just want to do a better job of like, or maybe it's more intentionally, wholeheartedly jumping into like, each year I think we kind of make our friendship smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But it's like being a little bit more intentional in those friendships that I have remained. And so it's just like something about wholeheartedly with everything I do. Even like my fitness, I want to up my, my that. So I think I just want to be living more intentional and wholeheartedly this year.
I love that.
I gotta figure out the exact words.
Yeah.
So, any suggestions?
Gosh, I don't even have a word yet. I know last year my word came like 6 months later because the word consistency started just to pop up in my head, and it started popping up in like various things. Like I'd read something and it was about being consistent, or like it would pop up on like on the radio or a song, or it was always somewhere. Yeah. And then I realized that's what I need this year. I need consistency. I need consistency in my life when it comes to my friendships, consistency with a man I can trust, consistency in my work, because I had kind of been flailing after my dumpster fire of 2022. And so I think all the way around for my life, I just needed consistency. And so I really think last year that word came into fruition with me, especially by the end of the year, with the relationship I have with my boyfriend, with my friends, with the jobs that I'm doing now that I'm passionate about, that are being consistent, and I see myself, planting myself in a different way than I was before. And so I think that really worked well. This year, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't want to like pressure myself to try and find a word.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having a word, because I think it does like give us like an outside perspective or a view of, how does that word fit into all these different like avenues that we have in our lives. And I love that idea, but I just don't know what that is for me. I know this year that kind of same thing, now that things are consistent, I want to be able to dive fully in and grow exponentially when it comes to the podcast, when it comes to the content creation I do, to really be able to focus on that, because before, when things weren't consistent, it was like I was just surviving. I hadn't come to the thriving yet. I want to thrive.
Right.
And I don't necessarily want that to be my word. But I know that that's what I want. I want things to flourish this year. And I don't want flourish either. I don't want thrive.
We're going to go to
synonym.com. I know.
Flourish, thrive. Give me a better word.
Give me a better word. But I do know that now is a time for me, now that things are consistent and stable, that I can really kind of put my creator hat on and, venture out and do all these things that I haven't been able to do the last 3 or 4 years. And it's kind of nice to be in that space. It's slightly overwhelming, because now that, like, you've been praying for all these things to happen, and so now they're happened, and you're like, holy crap, now I gotta run with it,
What's next?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what it is, but I know it's not thrive. I know it's not flourish.
I think the most important is that we know the concept of the word we're looking for.
Yes.
And in that we can act that way. And all of a sudden it's like, this is the
I think it'll eventually come to me, and then all of a sudden I'll have my aha moment, be like, yes, this is it. This is what I want. But same thing. Like, I don't do resolutions, or if I do goals, it's mainly more on, business end of it. I know in terms of fitness, that's something that has been, I feel like a struggle for me with the last year of my immune disorder, having to take a step back. I pushed my body way too much with teaching a lot, and being completely fully in the fitness industry. Now I know that my body needs a lot of rest. I do want to be able to be more creative dance-wise, and just to be more on the creative end and learn versus being the teacher. I've been in that teacher role for so long. I want to be able to take classes, and I want to open up my creative hat and perform and be in that space. I also miss like weightlifting, and the bodybuilding side that I used to do. So I know, like, those are some of the goals I want fitness wise. And but the word, man, it'll come. At some point.
At some point, it'll be like, bing. Oh, that's it. Yeah. And then I gotta write it down so I don't forget.
But I feel like everybody always, if you do a new, like, some kind of resolution, like, people break it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Or they go, like, too hard where it's not attainable.
Yes. That's where
you're setting yourself up for failure.
I like those baby steps into it that, like, okay, I'm going to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. I'm going to wake up 30 minutes. Not like, if I tried one time to, like, all right, I want to be one of those 5 a.m. people. But I can't. Like, my body is so far off that, like, chronological time or that clock that I woke up at 5 o'clock and I'm needing a 2-hour nap in the afternoon because I went to bed at 2 a.m.
It's like the story of my life for so long. Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, they need to be, like, slowly in there. And, like, I do fitness and health goals. I don't like to focus on the number on the scale as much. Like, there's a certain area, like, I'm comfortable with. But, like, growing up, it was like, I want to weigh this amount of time. Like, I want to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I like more loose ones that are, like, as you're growing into that habit, you're making yourself a better, healthier, stronger person.
Yes.
And, okay, maybe I didn't hit 115 pounds, which I'll never hit. But my goal now is to be stronger, and so I hit that, and it's an attainable thing because as long as I'm stronger than I was yesterday, I got my goal.
I do know I want to travel this year.
Yeah,
that's something I have not been able to do. I mean, I was able to go to Puerto Rico, not last year, but the year before. But, like, I want to travel. I want to go to places I've never had the opportunity to go to, and I want to be able to explore the world a little bit more. So with me being more consistent, I'll be able to travel more. So I know that is something definitely that I want this year for sure.
You got it.
And our girls trip.
Yeah.
Wherever that is. We have to figure that piece out.
Somewhere warm.
Out of Indiana.
Yes. Sunshine and beverages. Buy a bottle
of
water.
Yes, all-inclusive place. Yeah. Just have that alcohol drip right now. I'm just kidding.
Put the IV straight in me. Mimosas in the morning, switch it to a margarita at noon.
Espresso martini at night. There we
4
go.
4 p.m. the espresso martini hits. And then it's wine the rest of the night.
There we go. That's what we need for sure.
I love that. We just went on to Jamaica as a family. And every day before dinner, my dad and I would meet for a cocktail. And every day I'd be like, I'm on my way down. And my dad would have my little espresso martini ready for me.
I love that.
I love this. This is what I love about vacation. And to that point, to men, like, those, like, it's my dad, obviously. And I'm sorry, like, my dad set really good expectations for me. But, like, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
We're not looking for someone to go spend $1,000 on a dinner for us. We're looking for someone that's intentional and thinks through those things.
And so thoughtful. Yes, exactly. the little things that add up for sure.
Great. Great.
Oh, I love that though. I was gonna say I need a man like that, but I have a man like that. I meant in terms of a fatherly figure. I don't have that. It's okay.
That's okay. Now you have a different type of man in your life.
Different type of man
that can take care of you in the ways that you need.
Yeah, there you go. See, there's always a silver lining and all of that stuff. That's nice. So I guess we'll update you guys when you have your word fully.
Yes.
And when I have mine, because we currently have no clue what that's going to be at the moment. So.
And when there's a ring on my finger.
Yeah. We'll have to do like some sort of countdown or like an update. Okay, wait. So I know we're veering off course here.
Yes.
When the ring on the finger. So what are you gonna do to make that happen, though? We'll close with that.
Okay, that's a good question. I think I have been so focused on other things that I have definitely, again, put dating on the back burner. I think I got so burnt out by talking stage after talking stage after talking stage that led to, like, over the course of the year, 4 dates. Like, I think I'm for first dates. I think for me, I have to go put that energy back into it. So, and I'm just as guilty as because I'm so burnt out that I'll jump on the apps, I'll talk for a minute, and then I'm like, you know what, this isn't going anywhere. Instead of trying, I'm just like, bye, peace out, unmatched. I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to ghost you. So I know I need to wholeheartedly or intentionally, whatever that word is, go back into dating. And another thing I'm going to try is I kind of started doing this last year, but I need to continue going out in public.
Yes.
Working from home, having my life at home.
Oh, I know. That's the struggle. Yeah, especially with being an entrepreneur and you have your own business. Like, you can really hoard yourself in a space and not see people.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do, like, maybe a once a week or every other week office day where I find a coffee shop or I go to a cocktail hour.
Do you know how many times we've said we were going to do that? And
I know we
never
haven't.
do.
And we need to be more intentional.
I know. But we need another word than intentional.
I know.
It's not it. It has to be the word. We got to figure
that
out.
We got to get the word.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that, and I think I do overall need to be more open to men. I just, you close yourself off after certain things, and I think I've just closed myself off from, like, the constant disappointment and the constant effort with no return, that I need to put that in the past. I need to leave that in 2024 and just be more intentional with that.
That's good.
See, for all the haters, I said things I was doing wrong, too.
There you go.
I'll never watch that.
They'll only watch the other parts.
Exactly. Where I said I want a band.
Do X, Y, and Z. Exactly. And have my espresso martini ready for me and all the things.
Do we think exactly? I do want an espresso martini ready. Do we? And so the men watching this are gonna be like, "Oh, she wants to be married next year. Bye.
Bye. See you later."
Whatever. Then you're not my type.
Okay, so I said I was gonna close, but now that just spawned another question for me. What if you find the guy that is just absolutely amazing, but, like, just marriage isn't in the cards? Like, he's just adamant that he does not want to get married. Like, how would you feel about that if you feel like this is the guy I want to be with for the rest of my life, but he doesn't want to put a ring on it?
I would have to have a very intentional, strong conversation with him where I don't back down and I just say, like, these are important to me. Because here, at the end of the day, I'm very traditional.
Yeah.
Marriage is very important to me at where I am in my phase of life. I think for me, it might be a deal breaker because marriage is that important to me right now. Because I do want to get married. I do want to have kids. I do want to try at that traditional, whatever. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it, maybe, God will alter that. But I also, like, I don't know. That's important to me. And especially because I still want to have a kid.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a marriage and a home. Yeah. Like, with that.
Well, that makes sense because obviously if you want to bring a child into the world, you want to have stability and you want to have the traditional family, aspect. So I totally get that. It's so funny because, like, I didn't think I'd want to get married again after everything. And now I'm kind of like, I'd be open to it. It'd be fine.
Finding the right man can change your perspective.
I think so, 100%. I mean, I doubt it would happen, but Like, it's just weird how that's changed.
Yeah.
It does. When you find a person, it starts to shift your perspective on things a little bit. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. I was totally against that, but now I'm not so much against it for some reason. So I'm just saying, you just never know.
You never know.
I know.
You never know. But if that doesn't work out, it looks like in 2026, I'm going to try that IVF route.
Are you really?
Arranged marriage, something. No, we're not going there. Plan A. 2025.
Get a cat. Oh, no, not a cat.
Figure.
A dog. Not a cat. You're allergic to cats.
Yeah.
She dies when she comes over. So does everybody.
I breathe.
I know. I'm sorry.
Money attacks me.
You know what? She's gotten so much sweeter lately. I don't know why.
Tell that to the scar on my thigh. Okay.
She has not attacked the boyfriend.
Oh.
She's very sweet with him.
Interesting.
I think she's getting sweeter in age.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the next time you come over, we're just going to have to see.
I'm going to walk by.
I'm going to snatch at you. Okay, we totally got
All right,
topic,
we did. Sorry. We're back.
I know, that's the problem with us. We can just keep talking when things come into our heads. So anyhow, we are super excited for 2025 and things that we have planned for this podcast and just the different ideas that we have and the people that we want to have on here, not only for the After Dark edition, but just behind the filter in general, because our goal is to always, regardless of who is on here, is to have honest, vulnerable, raw, transparent conversations with people that gets beneath the surface of what you typically see on social media. So that's always the heart of what this podcast is going to be. Sometimes it's going to be, like super serious and like deep. And then other times, we get to lighten the mood and talk about other stuff like Ashley and I talk about, and we get a little deep, but at the same time we joke about it. And we have like these moments. I had to play that. I forgot. I needed that to end. So thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Behind the Filter. We have more episodes coming to you. So until next time, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.